What's up everyone, it's B the Installer. I'm here to show you some of the best early Black Friday TV deals on BestBuy.com. Fantastic deals, things that I would buy right now. I'm going to go over 5 or 6 different TVs that I would buy at current prices, including one, of course I'm going to save it for last, which is the best deal of the holiday that I forgot on my last video, and it's amazing, and I might do a couple accessories at the end. And this video is sponsored by Best Buy, so I want to thank them for that. But remember, all these TVs I buy there as well, and so I'm recommending the ones that I really like. And I'm a Total Tech member, so I get 60-day return policy and all that, so fantastic deal. Let's get into the best TVs. So there's 3 Samsungs that I want to talk about, so I'm going to go over all 3 of them really quickly. The first is the Neo QLED, the QN90B. It is arguably the best mini LED TV on the market, and the prices are really low right now. So you can get the 75-inch for $23.99, which is a savings of $600. And it's a really great TV because it's extremely bright. And I had this conversation with some of the guys that we do fantasy football with that you really want a QLED if you're watching bright and vibrant sports. So the QN90B is one of those. It's also a fantastic gaming TV. You know, you can basically get every gaming feature you'd want out of this TV. The 75 is $23.99 right now, saving $600. And the 65-inch is actually $15.99, saving $400 off the price that they had. I think that was even higher before. So really getting a top-of-the-line Samsung QLED at $15.99 for the 65-inch is a fantastic deal, and I definitely think you guys should go ahead and pull the trigger on that if you're looking for a QLED, sports, even HDR looks amazing. So a TV that I feel like can sometimes be a little bit overpriced when it comes out is a Samsung frame, but a lot of people like this TV. And right now they have the 75-inch Samsung frame for $19.99, which is $1,000 off its retail price. That's a really good deal. I have a 50-inch Samsung frame. A lot of people get the 65-inch Samsung frame, and that 65-inch is $15.99. So again, that's the same price as the QN90B. And I'd have to say the QN90B is definitely a better TV, much brighter, better for sports, better for HDR, better for gaming, but this frame is still really good because it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. It's a pretty good TV, and it's also amazing for artwork. And the QN90B has the ambient mode where you can get some of the same stuff, but it's not like the Samsung frame. Really nothing is. And if you have to compromise and get something that has the artwork in the bedroom so your wife is happy when it's off, it doesn't look like a big black rectangle, the Samsung frame is the way to go. And I like that 77-inch price at $2,000. That's a pretty good deal. And remember, the Samsung frame still does have 4K at 120 gaming, and it does look really good for sports and everything. It's just not quite the HDR monster that the QN90B is. So movies and TV shows that are dark aren't going to look quite as good on the frame as they do on the QN90B. And it's really hard for me to talk about Samsungs without at least mentioning the S95B QD-OLED. So this TV was $3,000 when it came out, which is $1,000 less than the Sony version of a very similar TV. The Sony's a little bit better in a couple different ways, but this one's $1,000 less, and now it's down to $18.99 for a 65-inch. So it's another $100 off just a couple days ago. So $18.99 is $400 off what they list as its retail, but you have to remember, again, this 65-inch was $3,000 when it came out. Now it's $18.99. So it's an incredibly low price. You get a very good QD-OLED TV. Amazing for gaming, amazing for HDR, everything really. It's an extremely bright and vibrant TV. The only issue that some people have had with it is that the Tizen OS is a little bit buggy, but if you're one that has a third-party device that you connect or gaming system and you use that operating system, then it really doesn't matter for you because that's the kind of thing that people weren't super stoked about. But besides that, fantastic TV. It only comes in the 65 and the 55-inch. The 65-inch is $18.99 and the 55-inch is $14.99. So both of those are extremely low prices, and I think all 3 of these TVs from Samsung satisfy needs for different people. So really you have 3 very different but very good Samsung TVs, and I'm happy with the prices there. All of them are like half the price that they started out this year. And since we were talking about 55-inch, I just want to let you know that this Sony A80J from last year, it's an OLED. It was like the second best OLED, but a lot of people like it. It is an extremely low price right now. If you wanted to get a 55-inch TV, it is $999 for a fantastic OLED. Now it has all the gaming features that it lacked in the beginning of last year. And to be honest, a lot of people say that this A80J is technically a little better than the newer A80K, and it's less expensive when you get it at this size. The other sizes for some reason are more expensive than the newer one, and I'll touch on that in just a second. But this is a fantastic TV for watching movies, especially HDR, Dolby Vision, all that. Super good TV. Pixel level control, of course, it's an OLED TV. You know, if you're in a really bright room and you have windows everywhere, it might not be the best for you because it doesn't have the same kind of peak brightness that like the QN90B from Samsung does. But Sony does have a couple of really good LED TVs as well in the X95K and the X90K I'm going to talk about in just a second. But when you get up to the 65-inch and the 77-inch, you actually get better prices on BestBuy.com when you get the newer A80K, because right now the 77-inch of the A80J is $3,500, whereas the A80K, which is brand new, is $26.99. So you're saving a bunch of money on that. I talked about this deal in the other video that I made, and I have one that's even better than this, so hold on for that. But $26.99 for a 77-inch OLED is fantastic. I found very little to complain about with regards to this TV versus my A90J. I just uploaded a video on that, so if you want to check it out, I show you how a 77-inch looks so much bigger and better than a 65-inch, even if the 65-inch is a little bit better. But I like this Sony 77-inch A80K because of its size and the price. And if you want to go bigger than the 77-inch and you want to get a TV that's a really good deal, this Sony X90K at an 85-inch is now $2,000. So if you remember, I showed you two 65-inch Samsungs that were $2,000, but this is actually an 85-inch for $2,000. And I can tell you, it's a pretty good TV. It's a very bright TV. It is not mini LED, but they do have a mini LED in the X95K. However, if you look at this, that's $4,000 for an 85-inch. It's just one step up from this other TV. And if you look at the X90K, that's $2,000. So, I mean, is it really worth it to pay twice as much to get the mini LED X95K when you can still get the X90K for $2,000? And I think for most people, they'd be very happy with this Sony X90K that still is full array local dimming, very bright, has all those gaming features that Sony didn't have last year, and at half the price for a big TV. Now, when you get into the smaller sizes, you'll have to see which one is better. I did make a video comparing the X90 and the X95, so click right here if you want to check out that video. But it just really makes me wonder sometimes what people think about buying something that's twice as expensive as the next model down. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Would you go with the X90K for $2,000 or the X95K with the mini LED for $4,000 at the 85-inch? So, and since we're talking about 85-inch, I definitely want to talk about this TCL XL Collection QLED. Now, this TV again started out at $3,000 for an 85-inch QLED, and it is huge and it is pretty darn good. And now it's $16.99. And I have the 98-inch version of this, and that price has not gone down. It's still $8,500. So when you think about getting an 85-inch TCL, that's very similar to the 6 Series TCL, which everyone loves. This is $16.99 for 85-inch. So far, it's the least expensive 85-inch TV that I've shown you, and I know that it's pretty solid with regards to HDR and gaming and all those things. So also a pretty good TV, and I wanted to make sure we give TCL a little love when we're talking about all these different TVs. And one more before I get to the best deal of the season, and this is the Hisense U8H, which is a pretty good deal in itself. Now this TV only goes up to 75-inch, so you can get a 55, 65, and a 75. All three of them are very good. I had the 75-inch U8H in the house. I actually still have it in the house. Fantastic TV. It's extremely bright. It is a mini LED. It has a lot of gaming features, and unlike some of the Hisense TVs that I've had before, I found no motion issues. I pretty much like all aspects of this TV. It has the same Android TV OS that the Sony TVs have this year, and it's way less expensive. So 75-inch for $14.99, saving $600 for a 75-inch. And if you go to the 65-inch, you're talking about $999. And so if you had to tell me, give me a 65-inch TV that's under $1,000, I would definitely say get the Hisense U8H. And they also have a U7H, which is slightly less expensive, not quite as punchy in the bright highlights, but still a really good TV and a fantastic deal. But the U8H is awesome, $1,000 for a 65-inch, and even a better deal at the 55-inch, only $699 for a 55-inch TV. So it's either this one or the Sony A80J, which is $999. But to be honest, to save $300, if you're a sports fan, if you're watching regular cable, and even in HDR, this mini LED from Hisense, for that price, amazing. I definitely recommend it. And so now I have to get to the best deal of the holiday that I found so far. And I completely missed this on my last video, but it is the LG C2. Now, I'm a big fan of LG OLED TVs. I'm a big fan of OLED TVs in general, to be honest. But this C2 is as bright as my Master Series OLED from last year. And at the same sizes, it's way less expensive. So we're talking a 77-inch for $2,500. And of course, $2,500 is still expensive with regards to just general purchasing. But for this TV at this size, it's nearly $1,000 less expensive than last year and the year before around Black Friday. They were selling these 77-inch OLEDs for like $3,500. So now you're talking about one of the best OLED TVs, one of the best gaming TVs, period. Fantastic, bright HDR, awesome gaming. It looks great when you're watching cable even. It's very good upscaling that's caught up to Sony in the last couple years. And I would say, no question, this is a fantastic deal. I would buy it if you're looking for a 77. And if you move up to the 83-inch, now you're talking about $4,000. So is it really worth it to go $1,500 to get a 6-inch bigger TV? I'm not so sure about that. But you can also get a 65-inch for $1699, which is a fantastic deal. So this and that QN90B from Samsung, very similar price point. So it's one of those QLED versus OLED. Would you rather get the Samsung that's brighter when you're watching regular cable and HDR and can beat down the reflections in a bright room a little better? Or would you rather have perfect contrast with, the individual pixel level control, no blooming, very good gaming of, this LG OLED? So very tough call. If I was going equal size for equal size, I'd probably pick this LG C2. If I was to go 77-inch OLED versus the 85-inch QLED, that's a tougher call, but I don't think those prices are the same. But again, best deal of the holiday, the LG C2 OLED TV, fantastic, $2,500 right now, which is $800 off the listed price. And I did want to mention one soundbar and subwoofer combination, specifically if you have a Sony TV or if you're going to buy a Sony TV, and that is the HT-A7000. It is $200 off. It is still $1199 for the soundbar alone, but I really do like this soundbar because when you hook it up to a Sony OLED, it uses the TV screen to send sound out as well as a soundbar. So it kind of doubles up on that center channel. And then if you combine that with their really powerful SA-SW5 subwoofer, you're going to save over $300 right now. This sub used to be $699. Now it's saving $100 at $599. And again, the soundbar is $200 off. So with those two things together, you're going to be saving $300. I think if you pair this with that 77-inch A80K, it looks and sounds amazing. And I did that in that A80K video I was talking about. So definitely check that out. But that's a perfect combination. You really can't miss with those. And earlier in the video, I talked about using a third-party device. This Roku streaming stick is actually $25 right now. It used to be $50. So if you guys are in need of a different sort of OS, or, sometimes it's very useful for people that aren't technologically advanced. If you just want to know where everything is very easily on your TV and you want every TV to be uniform, it's always helped my clients to get something like this Roku streaming stick. 4K HDR, Dolby Vision, very easy, up and down, left and right. You got the volume buttons on the side that works with the TV volume as well. But definitely something that I've used, I've recommended to my clients, and I'm recommending to you guys, especially since it's half off. And something that I highly recommend if you buy anything at Best Buy is the Best Buy Total Tech membership, because there are so many benefits that you may not even think about. Probably the most important thing is that you get 2 years of coverage with an active membership. So if you buy TVs, headphones, whatever it may be, you're going to have it covered. If you have an issue, you take it back to Best Buy and they sort it out for you. Another thing is you get free Geek Squad tech support 24/7. And that can come in handy when you have questions on the tech. There's always something that seems to go wrong with every little tech product out there. So it's good to know you have that support. And really the best thing for me is the extended 60-day return and exchange window. I buy a lot of TVs, and once in a while I do need to return things for various reasons. And that 14-day window when you don't have the tech support is not always as useful as, of course, having 60 days. So I much prefer having 60 days. You really get an opportunity to test out a product, see if you like it. And if you don't, you get those 60 days, which by then you should know if you like it or not, right? So make sure you check for the links in the description of the Best Buy Total Tech membership and for all of these different TVs. We do get a small commission when you purchase through the links below. It really helps the channel and it's much appreciated. So those are all the deals that I have as of now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Which TV are you going to go for? A QLED, an OLED, mini LED, a big TV, a small TV? Let me know in the comments. Smash the like button and make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video.